I was always at the right place at the right time when I was young. And my first movie was when I was buying fried chicken. I went to a place and I just happened to be leaving, and then this guy I knew, he saw me there, and he was doing a film that the other person couldn't work on anymore, the lead actress. So they said they needed somebody. And he looked at me and he says, no, I don't think so. And then they called me 3 weeks later and asked to see me, and the guy wanted me to work with him right away without an audition. I'd never acted before. And I'd still had my high school to do. So I had to go back and finish high school and go back and do a correspondence course and do my first movie. I remember when John Woo met me, because he's very quiet, you know, and he said, you know, I have a movie. The girl is very important. It's all about you. And I said, oh, okay, because I was contracted to Choi Hak and Nansen. And so he was doing a collaboration with them. And so, and I had known him since Taiwan. We used to go to this eatery together, and he was very quiet, always sitting in the back. And so I thought I knew him, so I said, oh, sure, I'd love to do a movie with you, like that. He did tell me from the beginning what the movie was about and what my role was, which is seldom in Hong Kong movies. And when I start a movie, I would never hardly know the script. Only with Choi Hak I do. And with John, too, he did tell me the whole story, so I knew what this girl was about. So I just did the best I could do to make people feel that she was worth it. When I did the movie, I realized that it wasn't all about me. But, you know, John is very respecting of his actors. I must give him that, because I don't think I pleased him as much as I should have, and I probably wasn't as professional as I should have been. But I thought he was very good to his actors, to Zhao Yunfat, to me, and to Lee. He was very respectful to all the actors. But he did, you know, he was more, you know, you do what you think you should do. I had a good experience in playing a blind person or a girl. That was interesting for me, a blind character. But as soon as I became blind, I felt blind. It was pretty dark, and I felt as if I couldn't see anything, and it was a lot more about feel than. And as the movie progressed, it was much better. I got more of a hang of it. I would stay at home, turn off all the lights, close my eyes, and feel around the house. And I'm really afraid of the dark, so when I felt blind, it was scary. And Jenny's a much stronger person, so she wasn't afraid of the dark, but I am. Somehow when you're blind, all the other senses pop up, you know? When you feel that you can't see anything, then everything else, all your other senses are much more in tune and much more aware. So you just automatically, you know, hear more and feel more and touch more and smell more. The thing is, I didn't really know Jenny well enough, you know, but I don't think we went into the depth of her character enough. I mean, for someone who just became blind all of a sudden so tragically, she was able to overcome it very quickly. I don't know if I could do that, you know. I don't know if I could be able to overcome something like that so quickly. So she was much more stronger than me in that aspect. it's hard for me when I get to the set and I find out what that day's script is going to be, because I have to learn it very quickly and I have to understand it very quickly. You know, not like America where they get the scripts, they can go home and sit in bed and wonder how to do the scene and figure out different angles, but I don't have that luxury, or I didn't. We did a few rehearsals, but I don't think it's anything like blocking in the States, because I've seen some clips of people actually sitting down with scripts. For one thing, we don't have scripts, so we can't sit down with scripts. But we would do a sort of a walkthrough, and you have an idea. But you know, none of the actors, they give themselves fully when you're just walking through, so you never know what's going to happen when it actually happens. So I think we're well trained to just not walk through.
Jenny, 你做咩？
阿莊，點解咁黑嘅？
I remember one time I worked with him, and I had fallen asleep on that scene because I'm not very good with staying up all night, you know. And they just said, oh, just leave her there, because she's supposed to lie down and we're supposed to pick her up. They were supposed to pick me up and put me somewhere else in the scene. So I didn't know they were rolling, and when they started rolling, he picks me up and he goes, and he says beside my ear, he says, "How chonga," which is so heavy, so heavy. And then at that moment I woke up, but then I knew they were rolling, and I had to keep a straight face. It was just horrible. He's always playing these practical jokes on people, and he cooks for people, and he's a lot of fun, and he's very good to work with because he gives you so much real emotion. So when you're with him in a scene, everything becomes very natural.
Yeah.
They shot it right in front of me, and I didn't know the dangers of it then. It wouldn't occur to me to be afraid, because, you know, in Hong Kong when they do movies, you're not supposed to tell people you're scared, and you're not supposed to voice that out. So when they said, "Oh, we're going to shoot a gun, in front of your eyes," I was like, "Okay." Yeah, there was one scene where he said somebody's shooting from behind, and me and Zhao, in fact, we fall down on those mat things, and then they're shooting at us, and I turned around and I said, "Wait a minute, they can't see our face. Don't they use stunt people?" And they weren't going to. They wanted me to do it myself. John says, "We want you to do it." And I said, "Okay." And then the stunt guy teaches me how to do this backflip. So, I end up facing up when I get down on the mat. But the camera is up here, so they can't see me falling down. So I fall down, I go there, and I can hear something in my back going, "Grah!" like that, And I'm going, "Ow!" And then I feel something in my leg, and I start screaming, "I've been shot! I've been killed! Somebody killed me!" And I look down, and there's this little piece of shrapnel of a blank in my leg. I still have the scar. It's quite big, getting bigger. And there was this tiny, tiny little piece of shrapnel stuck in my leg. And I was so embarrassed for screaming so loud, and this tiny little thing. So everybody stopped. John Woo comes running over, and everybody's looking at this tiny little hole in my leg. And I said, "Somebody get a tweezer." So somebody came out and tweezed it out, and I said, "Oh my God, I've been shot." And we wrapped myself up, and John said, "Can you still work?" And I said, "Oh, I think so." It was quite painful. The funny thing is, I didn't find this song suitable, but because the film became such a cult film, the music went along, and so many people love the songs, and people write to my website constantly. A guy from Paris wrote, and people from I don't know where, Zimbabwe or something, and everywhere they write and ask, "Where can I find that album?" And so I make little CD copies for them, out of my own, and because you can't buy them anymore. And so those songs were made for the movie, and they were requested by the company. So I don't really remember what they were about, and I didn't think the songs were suitable. But I guess they were suitable for the lounge scene that we shot for the movie.
我已未走過淚，開心寫意，就會隔絕眼淚。
I think a theme song, a good one, can bring out the essence of a movie, can make the scene more textured and with more depth and more feeling. Crawling was a bit really dramatic, I thought, well, even when I saw it in the theater, I was going, oh, must they, go past each other? Because the voices are there. You can sort of hear the voices. So they're just next to each other, the voices. So I would have thought, being blind and supposed to be quite intelligent, I could just find him, because I'm the blind one. I'm the more sensitive one. But I guess in that kind of situation, you wouldn't. It was just John Woo's. He wanted to. I did ask him about that, and he says, no, I want you to go past each other. And I said, okay. I'm very proud of how what this movie has become for John and for Zhao Yunfat and for the Chinese or Hong Kong movie industry. That I'm very proud to be a part of that. But probably not proud of myself that I didn't put enough seriousness into it then, because I don't know, maybe I was young, I was doing too many movies then, and I do believe that was the last movie I decided to do. I decided not to make movies anymore after that one. So probably if I had another chance to do better, I would. And not just John's movie, any movie I would have done back then, because I had put more emphasis on some rather than others. Because in Hong Kong, you don't always get a good role for women. And oftentimes you're like what they call a flower vase, where you're just a backdrop and looking nice and doing all the screaming. And I had felt that I had done so many movies that just scream so much, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. And I wasn't getting... Everybody thought I was really funny for some reason, and thought I was the Goldie Hawn or Shirley MacLaine, and so people wouldn't give me any serious roles, and I didn't want to... At that time, I was too young to go out and fight for them, I suppose, and so I just said, okay, I'll just stop for a while.